Jump in my 6'4" and let the top dine. Trunk hitting hard when I swing through H-time. Cup full of oil and an orange kush sweet. Cause this is how we do it in that 713. My candy red paint cocked up on foe. Shocking and body rocking cause the south side ho. DJ Screw got me falling asleep. This is how we do it in that 713.
Welcome to Sports with Balls. Here are your hosts, Jeff Michael, Lauren Leal, and Grant Miles.
Welcome in, welcome in.
Yeah,
Jeffrey,
yeah.
was that you over the mics, or where did that echo come from?
I don't know. Did I just guess that right?
Guess what?
Your age?
That I'm 5 years old.
No. Damn
think
it.
that's
I
you.
still don't know, but no, I said.
think that's you.
I was saying 25 or whatever. I could be off.
Welcome in to Sports with Balls here at Christian's Tailgate off of
Yeah.
Kirby. So thrilled to be coming to you. Obviously, the Astros just won. Can we get a hand
Bam. My boys, I told y'all, haven't lost yet. 4-0 in the playoff. Went away from the ALCS. We'll get into it in a little bit because, yeah, that's my. I love the Astros. Everybody knows that, and that's my team. I'm excited. They look like they are ready to go.
To the ALCS.
For sure. I know pregame, too. Alex Bregman was an interview, and he was asked, he was like, we're getting hot. It's basically the third month of the season, and we're in the postseason, obviously, because we know the pandemic situations. But, yeah, I mean,
You've got
great.
some.
They're getting hot.
You've got some pretty good news for some people here in a minute, or some breaking news about the Astros too. So we'll get into that. Grant, how was your work day today, Grant?
It was good. I realized I still got my thing on. This
Yes.
thing I got to put on my mask.
I think you're all right.
I thought it was a style, bro.
Again, welcome
It's a scarf.
Welcome into Sports with Balls, y'all. We're over here at
I'm a
Christian's
scarf
Tailgate
guy.
on Kirby, man. This is an incredible place. I'm having some lemonade and water today.
Boo.
It's Tuesday. Boo.
You're booing him. You ain't even got
I did
anything in
ask for.
front of your face.
I asked for a
You got
Red.
some-
I'm
I
getting a
got
Red
some
Bull in a
coming,
minute.
You
so
gotta
don't worry
come in?
about it. Yeah.
All right.
Come visit Dustin and you guys over here. We're at Christian Tailgate on Kirby, man. There's a good crowd here. We just watched the Astros win, and we're ready to go.
I'm not kidding. I circled that parking lot.
Yeah, I did too.
circled that parking lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks here.
Yeah,
A lot of folks.
it's good. I love it. All right,
No, I like it too. The energy's good.
Let's jump right into it, man. We're going to get into Lauren's 2-minute drill, brought to you by Joe Applewhite. Joe Applewhite Realty, 713-291-5270. You're looking to move, anybody that's looking to move, call Joe. He's incredible. You mentioned Sports with Balls. He's going to come to your house, pack up some boxes with you, and help you move.
I was like, what blue hat do we got up
That's
here
Memphis,
today?
although Memphis lost this week.
To SMU.
Yeah, to SMU.
Dallas
First time,
University.
first time SMU started off 4-0 or 3-0 in 60 years.
Long time.
Or
That's
40 or something
crazy.
like maybe since the Eric Dickerson, before the scandal.
Yeah.
Before the SMU scandal.
Well,
But,
before, since death penalty, I mean,
yeah.
they had a death penalty on him. SMU's been terrible ever since.
Raj says, what a game, dropping bombs and playing defense. Yeah, we're no banging and still swanging. That's what I like to say.
there we go.
You know
there
what
we
game
go.
I know Raj is not talking about? The Cowboy game.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And we will get into all
Raj,
of that
man.
tonight.
Yeah.
All of that tonight.
Lauren, what's going
And
on?
as you heard the whistle blow, it is time for the 2-minute drill. So as we just saw, Astros took it in game 2, 5-2 over Oakland at Dodger Stadium, which is the weirdest thing ever, guys. I'm not sure if you saw earlier as well, but we'll get into the NLDS happening at Minute Maid Park. Anyway, so the Astros took it. Springer and Maldonado with home runs. Correa, Maldonado, and Springer all with RBIs as well. Framber Valdez, 7 innings pitched, allowed 2 earned runs. Breaking news. Tomorrow, Game 3, Jose Urquidy is starting, not Zach Greinke.
That's awkward.
It was just announced.
That's fine with me. He's been pitching really well. Zach has had some off games lately, and he's a change of pace. And I'm assuming that if it's close or something like that, they could even bring Greinke out of the bullpen because if we win tomorrow, we're not going to play for 4 or 5 more days. So I think good move. I like Urquidy. Yeah, either one was fine with me.
Yeah, Grant, no. We got the Rangers
I don't
fan
really
in here.
have, I don't really have anything to add
Nope.
to that. I will say this. Springer, for what that dude is
Oh, man.
probably becoming one of the most clutch postseason performers in Major League Baseball history.
17 home runs right now in the postseason.
That dude,
That's insane.
He's a great player, but man, it's just like another level when he gets in the postseason.
I know.
It's really
That's
impressive.
when he really comes to
It's
life.
really impressive.
And it sucks for the Astros. Again, he's a free agent after this year, and man, he is making a lot of money right now.
Dude
For
is
sure.
batting 389. He's
Yeah.
389 today. Like you said, he was 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. I mean,
Yeah.
That dude's impressive in the playoffs.
2 home
man.
runs. I mean, yesterday he was 4 for 4. Like, oh, dude, yeah, he's killing it.
We'll get to him. We'll get to more of the Astros in a minute, but we move on over and stay in Houston, but we move on over to Energy, where the big news was dropped yesterday. Bill O'Brien was fired. General manager, head coach, and
Thank
offensive
God.
play caller was fired. I know that the city of Houston has been wanting this for so long after an 0-4 start, which I believe happened in 08. And they went to win they went to a 500 record at 8-8 that season. But who's next? Romeo Crennel. Wherefore art thou, Romeo, is coming back, is going to be stepping in for the rest of the season until the Texans have another head coach coming.
And we
into the office.
look, we're going to get into the Texans game here in a little bit for sure, but you know, there's a lot of names being thrown out as head coach for the Texans. It's a good job. You got Deshaun Watson. You've got a lot of talent right here, but you know, for me, Eric Bieniemy would be. I mean, he's clutch. That guy would be insane to get. But there's a lot of names being thrown out, and we're going to get into that in our football section in a little bit.
That's right.
But he's gone. Thank God.
I know. The city of Houston can finally breathe.
Dude,
All
Twitter,
right,
It does
so-
feel like
Twitter,
that, dude.
Facebook, everything
It's
blew
like a relief,
up
man.
yesterday.
It
Like,
is.
oh my, it was like bigger than. I mean, for once, nothing was said about the president.
Yeah.
Like it was all
about
everybody
Bill
was
O'Brien,
just
yeah.
Bill O'Brien. I was like, this is awesome. Like, oh yeah, it was great.
Because that just goes to show how many people pay attention to how bad he is.
Yeah, it was not good.
All right, then we move on over to some music news. Sadly, Eddie Van Halen dies of
Yeah.
65 years old of throat cancer. So we all know the songs Panama. You really got
Do you
me.
know the song? Do you know the song?
Of course I
Panama?
do.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
Who doesn't know?
She was like, everybody knows. Let's say, make sure you know.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
especially I think everyone here has seen Superbad as well.
Oh, well, then you were
Let's
also
go.
a
You know?
Texans dancer, so I'm sure y'all danced to some Van Halen songs.
You
Yeah.
got it. You got it. You really got me now. And Jamie's crying. So those are the 2-minute drills. And now we're going back to the Astros because
Stros.
it's time to get into the MLB playoffs. We are here.
Yeah.
Game 2 just happened, like we said. Takeaways from yesterday, I mean, they looked as great as they did today. Yesterday, they pounded out 16 hits. Most that the A's have ever have allowed this season in general. It was crazy because I think Jeff posted it on our social media. Alex Bregman's 4th straight home run on that date.
Yeah, on that day, 4 years in a row. On October 5th, he's hit a home run. This team right now, I mean, maybe it's playing in Dodger Stadium, but you know the Dodgers have to hate that too. It's
Yeah,
like,
for real.
like they're like, damn, those guys are killing it in our stadium.
That's
like,
funny.
they're on fire, like you said. You know, 16 hits. The bullpen, still even today, the bullpen has not allowed a run for against the A's, and we've been killing the A's bullpen. Listen, it's just Springer, Correa yesterday with 2 home runs, Springer today with 2 home runs, Bregman with a home run. Even our number 9 guy, Maldonado, got a home run today.
It was great.
I mean, we are swinging the bat very, very well against a team that has some of the best pitching in baseball.
And like you said, all of these blasts from these guys, who is it going to continue from, and who is it going to be next? Are we
Yeah.
gonna? Who do you think we're going to see some first?
Listen.
Is Altuve going to come back to
Altuve
life?
looks like he's breaking out of a slump. I mean, man, this team looks like, and it's a feeling for people that know the Astros. Feeling they're a cocky team, and when they don't have that cockiness and that chip on their shoulder, they don't play that well. And going into these playoffs, they were finally healthy, and they had that chip on their shoulder, and you're starting to see it. You see Dusty Baker now standing at the top of the steps. You know, he's out of the dugout. He's in the game. Before, Dusty Baker was sitting. Just trying to, and everybody's like, this manager sucks. Even me, I was like, what is he, like, not pumping up the team. This team needs drive. That's what A.J. Hinch did for him, for so long. And now you're starting to see them come together, and Dusty Baker's starting to get this team fired up. And this team believes they can win the World Series right now. I promise you that.
Well, you got to think about it in terms of the season. We're dealing with a very, very shortened season, and kind of like I think you said, Springer said, most teams will kind of start getting into their groove right now.
Oh,
As
Bregman,
far
right.
as
Yep.
Bregman said, as far as the season goes, you play 162 games. When you're at 60, I mean, you're starting to get it. So even for Dusty Baker, he was kind of thrown into a situation where he didn't know the guys,
Yep.
and he's learning them as he goes, and doesn't know where to step in, doesn't know, kind of filling out his way, and he's starting obviously to feel comfortable. The team's starting to feel comfortable with him, and I mean, I'm not shocked that the Astros are doing this. And unfortunately for the Oakland A's, they have these seasons where they're really, really good.
Yeah. And then
they get into the postseason, and then they don't play as well.
The
so.
Chokeland A's.
The thing is that it's funny that you say that. What I'm wondering is, are we going to see any heated players, aka Mike Fiers, out there?
You see what he
are
did
we
today?
See Loreno?
You see what Fiers did today?
Tell him.
Springer lost the ball in the sun, and it was a home run. He went like this. So Fier goes in the bullpen, and he's like doing this in the bullpen. Like, oh, you lost it? Like making fun of George Springer. What does Springer do? 2 home runs.
Boom. That's what they need, playing with a chip on their shoulder. That's right.
It's like, dude, you want to
take a swing, we'll come back
talk shit
stronger.
to the Astros, and they need that. They need that drive. And sure enough, look what happened.
It's just weird for that. I don't know. At a certain point, your stick that you got on being that guy has to stop. I mean, after a while, you got to realize I'm not doing anything to help my team here, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah,
Exactly.
well, Roy, who's one of the sponsors on the show, messaged me a minute ago about that, and he was like, if they keep this up, I mean, they're not even going to score a run tomorrow. Like,
at a
or we're
certain
going to score
point-
15 of them. Like, stop. If you keep talking to the Astros like that, they will come out and beat you. And here we go. I got a question for you. So, I mean, I'm sure we got a lot to go over, but who do you want to do you want to see the Yankees in the ALCS if we get there, or do you want to see Tampa Bay?
Oh, that is where we are going right now.
Good transition.
the thing
Oh,
is-
what? All right.
Yeah, very good transition, because I was
Let's
about to
go.
take it there if you weren't. It's very hard to say. Tampa Bay, they've been great. They've been great this season.
Yes.
Yankees are always dangerous. You never know
They
what you're
look
going to
they
get.
look really good right now.
Yes.
They are starting a 21-year-old rookie today on tonight's game, so we'll see how that goes.
Davy Garcia.
Yeah.
Not really. And they're going to face Tyler Glasnow of the Rays. So we all know what he can do as well.
Yeah, and he's a great pitcher, but underperforms sometimes. Glasnow does, but I don't want to face the Yankees, but I do want to face the Yankees. If you're going to beat them, let's go through it again. In fact, let's run through the Yankees and the Dodgers again, just repeat 2017, and that way there's no more talk.
I will tell you what I loved to see last night. Even though the Yankees did take the W and 9-3 over the Rays, I love to see the hit off of Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
Throw in there. It was Ji-Man Choi who actually did it at the end of the game. It was a simple fastball right up the middle. Hit it right off of him, and just because Garrett Cole, you left us. You left the
Well, I mean,
Astros.
listen, Springer's probably going to leave us too. There's maybe gone. I mean, listen, you're going to go after the money, right? And no way we're going to keep Garrett Cole, Verlander, Springer, Altuve, Bregman, Correa. Like, we're not going to keep all these guys. We're just not. Man, and the more and more I see Maldonado swing this bat, the more and more I'm like, we got to keep him. And
he's always been solid for us too behind the plate.
yeah, I mean that's the big thing is the way he calls games. It's just, and with these pitchers, he's good. He's getting better as a catcher, and he hit a home run today. And at the bottom of the lineup, he's great.
Hey,
For me, I'd like to see the Yankees go to the World Series just because I predicted it. So I'd like for that because I like for
Well,
that
we know
to happen.
Johnny
Yeah,
wants to see
I
that
like
too.
for that to happen. I mean, I'm by no means a Yankees fan. I wish failure on the Yankees every season. I would like to see Tampa Bay make it. I mean, I just think that would be a terrific story. But
Yeah.
I feel like for the Astros, I feel like the better matchup as far as a challenge and a competition would be the Yankees, just
Yeah.
because
That would be the two powerhouses. for sure.
that's kind of what your expectation was. I mean, before the season started, I think everybody was in that realm of Astros Yankees in
Yeah.
the ALCS, and that's what I think people are expecting, and that's what I think people want to see. But Tampa Bay would be a great story, though.
I was going to say,
Sure.
you still have a lot of guys from the Dodgers, too, and you look at Kershaw and what he's done as well. I think that the Astros would have fun with what he would give them. So I'm still rooting
We'll see.
for a rematchup of 2017.
Well, and this is also
Game 3 tomorrow is at 3:00. You guys want to come up to Christian's Tailgate? They're going to be open. They'll have it over the speakers. So Game 3 at 3:00 tomorrow. And you said Urquidy's pitching. Urquidy's your starting pitcher for the.
Urquidy's the starting pitcher
starting pitcher,
tomorrow,
so-
and it looks like, thank you so much for all you watching out there. It looks like we have a bunch
Yeah,
of Stros
Corey,
fans
Terry,
Yeah.
on
Scott,
our
Lorette,
feeds.
Steve,
Shocking.
Sammy, my boy Sammy Caldwell. He does Sundays over here. I know that's pretty fun. So
Vicky, Garrett, they all say go Stros.
Yeah.
Yes, go Stros, baby. Woo, you know where that
Look,
we're in Houston.
well, and the part that I would like to see, just the conversations that we've had about pitching compared to offense. you know, you've got the Dodgers that have the best team ERA in the major leagues right now. And then behind that is Tampa Bay and Oakland. And right now, Oakland's getting destroyed. Tampa Bay got destroyed yesterday. Minnesota's one of the top. They're out.
They're gone.
So is it pitching or is it offense? You know, and right now the offensive teams are winning.
If the Yankees beat Tampa Bay tonight, you're going to see the conversation's going to start picking up about Astros and Yankees.
Oh,
and
most
here
definitely.
we go. That's
Yeah.
going to be incredible. All right, cool. Tomorrow,
All right.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock on the dot.
Right.
Like you like
I don't
to
need to
say.
start singing.
Yeah, please.
You don't
It's
want to
early.
Sing? You
No,
don't
I
want to sing
don't
for
need
us?
to-
No?
7 o'clock.
All he's had
You
is
got a Red
lemonade.
Bull in front of you. I feel like you'd be ready to go, man.
I've only done half of it.
Where's your drink? Oh,
Right there. See, you're
served
talking
up.
about
All
me.
right.
There you go. Nico went and grabbed one for me.
Good job, Nico, Johnny J. Johnny J's over there.
All
on
right. Are
make-
we? Johnny J is on the ones and twos. What's going on, Johnny? How you feeling back there? I know you're grubbing on some Christian's tailgate food as well.
He's fine. He's a Yankees fan.
Yeah, he's feeling good right now.
Ah, that's right.
Although his Giants lost,
I was
we're going to
gonna
get
say,
into
that's all
that.
he's got.
man.
That's all he's
Your
got to
poor
hold on
Giants.
to is the Yankees.
Your four Giants. Shall we get into some football?
Let's go.
All right.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Oh yeah, that happened. I know the Cowboys fan
we
is
all
not
know.
happy about it.
We all know
But
Grant don't want to.
Speaking of 0-4 teams, we got the Falcons, Jets, Giants, and Texans. And as we mentioned a little bit earlier, Bill O'Brien, of course, is gone. The city of Houston is happy. The league is just like, oh my gosh, finally they did something smart. So if we want to jump into the Texans, say a little bit more about that, we can.
Well,
Sure.
I'll say this. I was saying this long before the show. So I get that everybody hates Bill O'Brien. Everybody's glad that he's gone. Fun stuff. But it is odd, though. I understand he started off 0-4. Last two seasons, 11-5 in the playoffs, 10-6 in the playoffs. Those are pretty good records, no?
Yeah.
You look at the records, and then there's something, too, that I reiterate is Watson using his legs, getting injured. If there was that protection there, and if he was such a great coach, there would be protection around him to where he doesn't have to try to always extend the play. He doesn't always have to scramble.
Question is, do you think that's game planning, or do you think that's just Deshaun Watson wanting to make a play to help the team win? I mean, they may not necessarily plan quarterback draws or quarterback runs for him, but just because of the athlete that he is, at some point when he sees the plays need something to happen, he makes a decision on his own ball. Because that's what the team needs at the time.
Right, there's that too. But then you also look at what he has to do. He hasn't really had the option to say, oh, I'm going to drop back and pass it. He hasn't really had that option.
Well, not only that, but he doesn't really have much confidence in the guys that he's going to be throwing to when he drops back.
The targets
So,
aren't there.
correct.
Exactly.
How much did Tim Kelly actually do? Well, how much did Bill O'Brien get into the offensive with Tim Kelly? You know, because are we going back to his off? He's going to be offensive coordinator again. Are we going back to that? Because we're on defense. You know,
Right.
so is Tim Kelly going to be the offensive coordinator again? Are they going to?
He's gonna have to be.
You know, is the game plan going to change? The whole deal. Well, at least from what I heard, whispers in locker rooms, stuff like that, phone calls, texts. The players had lost respect for Bill O'Brien, like completely lost respect for him,
Right.
and it was just known around the league. Basically, it wasn't even in the Texas organization. All the people that Bill O'Brien has been through, it's just you lose respect for him. He doesn't do much for you. He keeps losing, his guys. I mean, you go. I know it's been all over the internet. The Hopkins
Yeah.
trade was just, man, it looks like the worst thing we've ever done. And now you've got the Tunzel deal. You know,
Can I back up just for 1 second?
No.
Because we know that Grant.
You didn't mean back up. You mean, can I interrupt?
Yeah, can I interrupt you for 1
Go ahead.
second?
Yeah, that's
because,
fine. Yeah.
well, back up and interrupt
Yeah,
because we know
okay.
that Grant is the Cowboys fan over here. Jeff dogs on Grant because he's a Cowboys fan. But you say, oh, Texans aren't my team, but you just keep saying we right now.
No, listen. If
good catch.
if you saw
I like
my
it.
if you saw my
I feel like
post
you'd
yesterday,
appreciate it.
talking, Lauren.
I feel
No,
like you'd appreciate
you
it.
can-
I pulled out my jerseys from my closet as soon as they said Bill O'Brien was fired.
Fan.
Like, well, yeah, and listen, I'm not a fan of the organization.
And
They
that's
keep
great.
making very, very,
And I'm
very,
just-
very, very bad decisions. All right, like it's just annoying, and it's like eventually you get caught up. You're like, man, they're just destroying J.J. Watt's career, destroying Andre Johnson's career, destroying Arian Foster's career. All these incredible players that have come through the Texans organization, and they do nothing to try to win a Super Bowl except for hire Bill O'Brien. Like, I mean,
Well-
and then after these seasons of how many divisional banners are you going to hang up in the stadium that finally are you ever going to get past the second round of the
Yeah.
playoffs? Like, it's just
They
ridiculous.
had Gary Kubiak. He left Houston and went and won a Super Bowl in Denver.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody is
I mean, that's
completely different team. I think he won with Peyton Manning.
Well, talking about the
well, it
gameplays,
was not that
It was the
Peyton Manning.
defense.
Yeah, it was
It's the defense that won,
yeah.
for sure.
going back to the calling, you mentioned Arian Foster. That's what the Texans do. They run the ball. That's
Well,
all
and that's
they've
what
known
I
to
thought.
do.
That's what I thought Bill was going to do when he got in Johnson. I thought that was going to be his game plan: run the football, play action. But
be
it obviously hasn't worked out.
I'd wonder if anybody could pull this up because we do our lines on Friday. We give you guys who we think's going to win or whatever. I wonder if Vegas if the line moved since Bob was fired.
That's interesting.
Because the
very
Jaguars,
interesting,
the
yeah.
Jaguars are here on Sunday, and I wonder if the line moved at all because Bill O'Brien was fired. Like, are the Texans going to come out fired up? Are they going to come out, throwing the football everywhere? Is Deshaun Watson going to look like the guy they signed him for? So
I don't know. That's where we're going to get to see. Is he going to use his arm, or is he going to have to rely on his legs? Is there going to be that option there?
My guess would be you're not going to see a huge difference just because Tim. I mean, it was the news that after the most recent game, Bill O'Brien said, "Okay, I'm going to start taking over play call duties."
Yeah.
Well, he didn't get a chance to do that, but it's going to be interesting to find out and see how that happens. See what they're going to do, but I can tell you this: the line opened at Houston -6.5, and it's now at 6. Houston -6.
Okay, half.
I was
By half.
Yeah, I mean, so it did improve a half a point, and that's a lot. Like, to Vegas numbers, that's a lot. If you can move the line, I forgot how many millions of dollars it takes to move a point, like something like $10 million on a game or whatever to move it one way or the other. But a half a point is actually a pretty big deal in NFL wise, and I don't know if that's the reason that it dropped, but
But
we'll
it
see.
opened that way, and now it's that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right.
I'm sure. But before we move into some other NFL games, we got to take a break and say thank you to all of you watching out there, and thank you for making this show happen. One of those people is Roy Stanton with Hybrid Technologies Group.
Roy's on right now too.
Oh, thank
up,
you,
Roy?
Roy, for watching. You are incredible.
Yeah,
You
you-
go to him for phones, cable services, surveillance cameras, cloud services, anything that you need technology-wise, he will hook it up for you. Give him a call at 832-336-1201, and that is Roy Stanton with Hybrid Technologies Group. Mention Sports with Balls, and you may get a little special offer from him. Also, when you're here at Christian Tailgate, you mention Sports with Balls with your tab, you get a little discount. Just saying, here at Christian Tailgate. Thank you so much for having us.
Dustin's incredible manager over here.
Dustin's,
Dustin's legit.
yeah, Dustin's
I think
legit.
Grant's got someone to thank too.
Here's my question though: when I do mine, do I have to use the hand motions that you're using? Do I have
Is
to
that
do
what I
that?
look
I
like?
think you
Is
should.
that what I look like?
Do
Can
I'll
you-
do
hey,
that?
how about this?
Does that
Club up in
emphasize
here.
the
I
point
think-
of
look,
the sponsor?
Try it. Let's see what happens.
Do
Okay.
it. Do it.
Construction Concepts is changing. Corporate culture, one design at a time.
Don't do it.
Okay, I won't do it anymore. You were doing it. It was real emphatic, and so I was like, "Wow, maybe I should be making it more entertaining by pointing at
No,
stuff."
I think you're good at what.
Okay. Construction Concepts and Mark and Josh are changing corporate culture one design at a time. From hospitality, corporate, luxury retail, and medical facilities, their team of experts can update or create a space that exceeds your expectations. Give them a call at 713-589-2682 or buildithouston.com. Boom.
There you go.
Yeah, good
Boom,
guys over
baby.
there. Roy's also a good guy too. We got to get into toasting later. I told you I'd get it right one day.
There you go. I'm
You
proud
got
of
it.
you.
You
Good
got his
job.
name correct. Yeah, that's right. Now we head back into the game of football, which kind of owns America. But
Kind of.
Yeah,
It owns America.
well, MLB's going on right now too.
they
So-
had. I think I posted this the other day. If you guys haven't followed us, go to Facebook, or Sports with Balls on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Twitter's Sports with Ball.
Just one.
Just one.
Just
ball.
one.
Sports with Balls. So follow us on that so you can keep all this up to date. Yesterday I posted on there. It's something like the top 15 rated TV programs over the last 2 weeks, whatever, all NFL.
Yeah.
There you
Like,
go.
everything was NFL.
There you go.
And remember how
Whoa.
everybody said they're not going to watch
Yeah,
NFL this
yeah.
year because of,
Now listen,
not so
like,
much.
We don't talk about the fans not being there anymore, but
Yeah.
honestly, yes, it's still awkward.
Yeah.
But they're slowly kind of bringing them back every now and then.
They
And
are. They are. New
By the way,
teams keep
Green
saying-
Bay today said they've halted fans for
They
right
are.
now.
Mhm.
But
It was weird watching that game last night with nobody.
No,
in the
yeah,
stands.
Lambeau.
That was really weird.
It was weird. It was
but
weird.
no fans has affected sort of like the visuals on it. But honestly, the gameplay and the games, man, they're exciting. Like
Right.
I mean, I have sitting at home watching the games, and I watch Red Zone because if you don't have Red Zone,
You should.
you should.
What are you doing with your life?
Yeah, like for
What are
real.
you doing with your
Like
life?
there's no other way to watch football really. Red Zone, and
Exactly.
they're not even a sponsor. I'm just saying that for general.
Yeah.
Like,
We're just
Hey, but I mean,
general
but if Red
knowledge.
Zone, you want to come our way.
but football's it's entertaining. Like it is.
Absolutely
it just
it
is.
is.
Absolutely. That's why we love talking about it. And speaking of entertaining, we knew this was going to happen. The offense is so much stronger this year already. It's up by like these scoring games are so high, minus last night's Packers Falcons. The games have been scoring so high in regard to other seasons this season, and we'll go to the Cowboys versus the Browns. I know you're not
Yeah.
happy about this, Grant, but 49-38, and Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah.
Boom, goes off.
Yeah.
5 receptions for 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. The second one basically sealed the deal. It was a 50-yard touchdown
Yeah.
run. And Dak
reverse.
went off too. 502 yards, 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception, which, they happen. But I want to ask you, Grant,
Yes.
Dak, what he's been doing, what he did specifically this weekend, are his yards empty? Empty
Junk.
yards.
Jeff calls them junkyards. I call them.
It's the same thing.
I call them empty yards.
Yeah.
Dak. I don't think Dak is the problem. Here's I saw somebody made the statement. I think it was Emmanuel Acho said this. Dak is not the reason why they're losing, but Dak is the reason why they're not winning. If that makes any sense. Like he's not the
Break it
one
down.
he's not the one that's causing them to lose games, but he's not doing anything to help them win. And a lot of by that, what I mean is, Dak, yes, like what Jeff says, whenever the games, they were down 31 to.
They were down 4 touchdowns.
They were
in the
down
third
31.
quarter.
Yeah, he comes back. The team is running prevent defense. He's got a lot of wide open field, so his stats grow.
What we mean by empty yards, just so I can explain this, the defenses are playing a prevent, right? So
Yes.
they're trying to run out the clock. They
Correct.
don't mind giving them 5 yards, 8 yards, maybe even 10 yards, as
Yes.
long as they're not giving up a touchdown. They're just trying to run the clock. So they're not stacking up the line. They're not
Right.
trying to pressure them. They're not trying to run them. They just want to run out the clock.
He's earning what he's throwing. Like he's throwing, he's completing passes. He's earning those yards. It's not just, he's getting them for free. Like he's earning them, but they're
Do they
already
mean
down by
anything?
so much, and it's just the little things. On third down, I remember example last week when they were playing. He had a guy running out, tight end, just kind of like a little 5-yard out, first down, overthrows him. Like that's a first down. That could keep a drive moving. Unfortunately for him, he fumbles the football. That may not be his fault, but you have to have a time clock in your head as a quarterback and be prepared whenever the pass rush is around you. You have to know Myles Garrett is off to your right. He's the one that caused the strip sack. You've got a rookie right tackle that's protecting him, or at least attempting to. Dak needs to be aware of that. Dak needs to watch for that. He fumbles, they score. Zeke fumbles, they score. 14 points right there. Dak is extremely talented. Dak has a lot of yards. Dak has improved significantly. But I even make the argument, it sounds the opposite of how he's performing, but I think he's proving that Dallas doesn't need to max him out with money. They have other problems.
You and I talked about this.
Like people would think, oh man, he's earning his dollars. I think it just goes to show he can throw for a gajillion yards and they can't
Still
win
can't
football
win.
games.
That's what I was just about to ask you. Are you happy that Dak has a 1-year deal, or is the organization happy that he only has the 1-year deal?
All I think about is we don't have Byron Jones anymore. Great cornerback. I would have liked for some of that Dak money to go to Byron Jones.
Yep. Remember I told
you
you about the
got-
draft when they drafted great. I'm super
Yes.
CeeDee Lamb, incredible talent, everything, but they probably didn't need that. They needed to work on their defense.
Well, yes, and we can. That's another topic for another time when you're talking about draft and do you draft for talent or need. But like Byron Jones, they could have re-signed and brought him back. Some really talented football players that they've let go in the past because they're giving Zeke money, they're giving Dak money,
Yep.
they're giving all these different people. Anthony Hitchens is a starting linebacker for the Super Bowl winning Kansas City Chiefs. Like, that would be nice to have him right now because Jalen Smith sucks.
Yep.
DeMarcus Lawrence is getting paid $20 million plus a year, and he's not even on the stat sheet. I think he had like 2 tackles.
You think
last
this
game.
is so? Everybody jumped on Jason Garrett, sort of like they did Bill O'Brien.
I still think Jason Garrett was a good fire.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Because he's sparing the
it's
Giants
the
to
same
death
defense.
right now.
You still have the same.
Correct.
Sorry, Johnny.
Now
J.
we can
He's
talk
a big
about
Giants fan over
we can
there.
talk about if
And-
McCarthy was the right hire. I can get into that conversation.
Yeah.
But Garrett needed to go. We needed something different.
Do you
biggest
have
thing
the talent
McCarthy-
on defense? I don't know.
No,
that,
not right
you know,
now.
You're a Dallas specialist, right? So I don't know exactly every player, and I know they've had some injuries on defense.
Correct.
Like I get that, but man, they're atrocious, man. Like they're looking at like award-winning numbers for defense.
So I ran this the other day. I was looking at it. If you go by their averages, their defensive average giving up 36.5 points the first 4 games. 36.5.
Holy crap!
Wow.
If they continue on that path, they would have, I think the number was, they would have given up 524 points over the entire season. They have never given up more than 450 in the franchise's history.
Did you see what I put on our
That's
on
crazy.
Sports with Balls on our
Yeah, I
on
mean-
the story? No, about Dak and about his yardage and what he's
Yes.
what is it? He's going to throw for over 10,000 yards.
Yeah, I mean, his numbers are crazy.
You're
and
like
obviously,
reading my mind right now.
Obviously-
Jess. I was literally just about to
that's
say.
not going to happen. But it's. But that's why I say Dak is not the reason they're losing. It's their defense. Their defense is historically.
We're on point today.
Yeah, I know it's kind of scary.
I know, like if like he was literally reading my mind. If you don't follow us on Instagram, I mean, you better,
Shame
or
on
like
you.
look at the stories because what he posted was so funny. He posted James Harden in a helmet
Oh, yeah.
as the defensive
Yes.
coordinator for the
For the
Cowboys.
Cowboys, it's like straight up. That's the defensive coordinator. But I mean, look, like the Cowboys, like.
And we can get into their coordinator.
For our
Mike
show-
Nolan is awful.
Yeah, dude, and that's what I was getting at about their defense is like, you know, you fired Bill O'Brien because of their record. Are you firing Mike Nolan?
I'm
because of this?
shocked. Mike Nolan has not been let go.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is
If I said this, if you're a high school program,
because he's not part of Mike McCarthy's staff. You know what I'm saying? He didn't come with Mike McCarthy.
no, he did.
He did?
Yeah, Mike McCarthy hired him. That's one of the things that I wonder about Mike McCarthy. Like, why the hell would you? Mike Nolan, just so you know, has not been a defensive coordinator in the NFL since 2014. And since that time, his defenses, like his last 3 seasons, sucked. They're terrible.
Yeah.
So, Mike McCarthy, I question your knowledge and expertise when you're hiring a guy like Mike Nolan. But I just think about it in high school. If you're a high school program and you've given up the amount of points that you've given up over the first 4 weeks, the head coach is going to the science teacher / defensive coordinator and saying, hey, we're not going to have you do that anymore. We're going to give that duty to somebody else. Continue to coach linebackers.
And listen, there's
And
still
they give
only
that job
like
to someone else. I mean, it's terrible. I don't know why he's still there.
And this sounds crazy. There's still only like 1 game out of first place.
It is, 'cause
Like,
the NFC East
the
sucks.
NFC
The
East.
NFC East is terrible.
Yeah, the
Oh
NFC
my
is
God.
terrible. And
Everybody's
that's
won
what's
one
nuts.
game except for the Giants are 0-4.
And you got to remember the Cowboys, aside from a weird onside kick, would be
0-4.
0. Oh,
Yes,
they'd be
correct.
0-4.
Yeah. No.
Exactly.
And you want to talk about
and
an
that's
uproar.
another taco. And that's another talk is Dan
That's another
Quinn.
taco.
Yeah.
That's another taco.
That's
Yeah.
another taco.
It is Tuesday, right?
That's
Yeah.
another.
Yeah, exactly.
another taco
Emphasize
right
that with
there.
your finger.
Yeah, get it out there.
But yeah, I'm as a Cowboys fan, I'm embarrassed, I'm frustrated,
But
I'm
hey,
sad,
Dak threw
all kinds of
threw
things.
for
I
four.
mean, you
He's
know
thrown
what?
for-
It's
I
just
don't
another
care.
year.
I don't care what Dak did.
He's got
I don't
450
care.
yards, 3 straight games.
I don't care.
It's just another year,
I
Grant.
don't care.
Golly, one of these weeks Dallas is going to win, and we're going to have to come in here. And Grant's just, I mean, he might be wearing a jersey, helmet, shoulder pads, everything. Super excited.
It's
You know who
terrible.
lost last night? Or not last night, sorry. You know who lost on Sunday?
Who?
The Chargers to the Bucks, 38-31.
A comeback.
One score game. It
This
was
was
a
a-
comeback.
this was
Justin
crazy.
Herbert was great.
Yes, he was.
I mean, I wouldn't even consider, but I wouldn't even probably talk about Tyrod Taylor coming back whenever he does get healthy. I think you just leave Herbert in there. He was 20 for 25 for 290 yards, 3 touchdowns. Tom Brady is back in the
Woo,
game.
man.
He's back in the game. 5 touchdowns, I believe, 1
Second
interception.
half. Second half
Second
was
half.
Brady.
well, he
First
did
half
throw,
was
he threw
slow.
a pick six. For the 3 out of 4 games, he's thrown a
4
pick
out of
six.
his last 6
4 out of
games,
last
he's
6,
thrown a
yeah.
pick 6.
But he's back,
Yes.
guys.
Second
Yeah.
half. I
He-
wouldn't
he
trip out
made
about
a-
the first half.
He made
It was
an
not
incredible
good.
comeback, Brady did, for sure.
And that's where I wonder about Tom Brady is this goes back to the who made who. Bill made Brady, Brady made Bill. Obviously the Pats lost last night and Brady won. Brady won Sunday. I keep thinking it's Monday because we normally do our show Monday nights. It's Tuesday. So happy to be here. But whose offensive brain was it in this game?
Oh,
was
what's-
it Bruce Arians? Was it Tom Brady? Was it their offensive coordinator? Dirk
I'm going to
Koetter?
say this right now. For the first time, and because Mike Evans is usually a cocky piece of crap most of the time
He's
on the
an
field.
Aggie, so I'm not a huge fan of him.
I mean, he is cocky and usually a big baby, but he played injured that game and killed it. Like, he's the one that brought that team back.
Yes.
Like, Brady just threw it up to him 2 or 3 times, and he went and got it. Like, it was nuts. Like, he was incredible that game, and I think without Mike Evans, Brady would have been in a lot of trouble.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and I think that's one of the things that's helping Brady this year is the dude he obviously has more talent in the receiver position than he had when he was in New England. So, I mean, he should be really successful, because if he was successful doing that, I mean, to answer your question, what you said, I've always gone for the Belichick.
Me too.
Was the architect
made
of that.
Brady.
Now, Brady was obviously super talented. I think they were a terrific match. But, yeah, I mean, I'd have to. Hey, look, for a little bit in the first half, the Patriots were pretty competitive with our quarterback that they had in there.
They were.
I mean, they let some things go, and I'll be curious to know what Cam would
when
have done.
Edelman dropped, when that pass out to the flat, and Edelman hit his hands, and he just turned before it and went right.
He started to run prior to catching it, and you got to catch the ball.
That was
bro.
the turning point, I think, of that game. They were just sort of like, ah, shit, we don't have Cam, we're not coming back. Like, screw it.
Edelman's good for that, man. He'll drop a big pass.
That was
I mean,
big.
but you talk about pick sixes. I mean, right there,
That was a
right
bad
there,
one.
the Patriots.
Well, like you said, to
terrible.
your point about Mike Evans, 7 receptions, 122 yards, 17.4 average, 1 touchdown. I mean, that dude's a baller, man.
Yeah, and he was. I mean, when I say hurt, he was hurt.
Well, he was questionable for the game, and he ended up playing.
Yeah, but then he got tackled and he really re-injured that ankle.
Yeah.
And then you could tell when he did the touchdown pass, after the touchdown pass, he's limping back to the sideline. I mean, bad.
Mm-hmm.
And he still went out there and balled out. And he's not running full speed. He just went to an open spot, jumped.
Right.
Brady just threw it up there a couple of times. He went and got it. So I got to give him some heart for that. I mean, a couple of those drop balls, I don't think the comeback happens because, like you said, Herbert was lights out. Man, I'm really
He's
impressed
impressive,
by. Yeah, I'm
dude.
really
Yes,
impressed
he's
by this
impressive.
kid. The Chargers found their quarterback.
I tell you
man.
what I feel bad.
You're a
I feel-
Chargers fan. You're happy.
I feel bad for Tyrod Taylor. It seems like everywhere
Yeah,
that goes,
everywhere.
he gets Wally pipped so much.
I mean, how does that happen? To
he
a lung?
he goes, oh,
Like,
well,
you know,
the doctor punctures it. That's
I
what
know,
the doc does.
I know,
Yeah.
like
God,
how.
just bad luck,
so
man.
painful, man.
Terrible
I'm
luck
so
for
sorry.
that kid. Yeah, I
Moving
feel
on
bad
to the
for him.
last NFL game that we're going to talk about is the Packers versus the Falcons last night, 30-16. The Packers take it. Rodgers goes off as usual and looks impressive. 4 touchdown passes. He threw for 327 yards, but who was really impressive was the tight end caught 3 of those touchdowns. It was Robert Tonyan, if I believe.
He will be the number 1 fantasy look this
I already
this week.
picked him up.
Did you?
I already picked him up.
You already picked him up?
Well, you
All
mean you
right,
put him on
look
your
at
waiver? You put him on your waiver.
I put him on waiver.
Yeah.
I put him on my waiver.
You're probably not going to get him if you're up there in our fantasy league, right?
Oh yeah, I'm glad you said that. Yeah, I am.
Because
I am.
and I play
I
you
don't
and I
even
play
wanna
you.
go there.
Oh, Lauren.
I don't
Lauren's
even
out.
want to go
Your
there.
A+ draft
I'm just
grade.
happy that I beat you in
Yeah.
week 1.
Yep, you
So-
did. You did. And I'm playing Grant this week, but yeah, he'll be the tight end you're talking about at Green Bay. He's not well known, obviously. They interviewed
No.
him last night on SportsCenter.
He is now.
Yeah, he is now because the other tight end is out with a sprained ACL and done for the year. So
Welcome.
And then you've got Devontae Adams injury
Yeah.
problem. So
Yep.
yeah.
welcome
But just
to
like
the
I,
big boy.
but just like I said, that's what Aaron Rodgers does. I mean, that's where the difference between, and we're talking about Dak earlier. He's
Whoa,
dealing.
whoa,
he's
whoa, whoa. You're gonna compare these two guys?
No, time out. Let me talk. Don't interrupt.
Get him, Lauren.
Like, can we compare maybe
You're jumping
Wilson?
down my throat.
That's
Get-
not even what I'm doing.
Wilson or
That's not even what I'm doing.
Rodgers?
Hold on. We're talking about Dak earlier. Dak's got riches all across the field.
Sure.
Zeke Elliott, CeeDee Lamb, Mari Cooper, all these guys. Aaron
Talent.
Rodgers is throwing to Tanyan, Williams, Valdez Scantling.
Lazard.
I mean, who knows these
Great
guys?
points.
But they are winning, and that's what a winning
Okay, then I got a
quarterback
question
does.
for you. I mean, we'll dip into this Packers Falcons, but who's better? Who's MVP right now? Russell Wilson or Aaron
Wilson.
Rodgers?
Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's playing with the worst defense other than the Cowboys
They
in
are
the
pretty
NFL, and they're 4-0.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Packers are 4-0.
best there is.
Yeah, Russell Wilson's unbelievable.
Excellent.
Both. It's neck and neck for me. Both of them,
Yeah.
they're phenomenal. They're. It's almost like they're in their prime. Like both of those quarterbacks right now
Yes, absolutely.
are just
100%.
going off.
100%.
But Atlanta did lose this game, and they fall to 0-4. But there's not an uproar in Atlanta. There's not like Bill O'Brien or like anything else, and I don't understand why. Like,
Well, Dan Quinn almost didn't make it. He almost was let
didn't
go
you have
last
some Dan
year.
Quinn news?
Yeah, you were going to say something about Dan Quinn.
Oh, are you
and decided
waiting?
not
Are you
to.
waiting patiently?
I was just going to say that, yeah, like when is Dan Quinn, when is he going to get the boot? Is it going to be something like Bill O'Brien, what we saw yesterday, or is it just something that's just going to keep keep happening. They're just going to keep losing, and it's just going to get the worst there ever was.
Yeah, how many losses does it take before you fire your head coach, right?
Yes.
Man, people.
How many leads do you give up before you're let go?
Dude, the two worst in NFL history back to back, and then you lose now in prime time on Sunday night or Monday night.
Well, considering that, and considering how good Rodgers and the Packers can be, I mean, does that just showcase how bad the Falcons are, or is it just the Packers being the Packers? You know what I mean?
I mean, great question, but I think the Packers are that good. I think Aaron Rodgers looks like he did in his Super Bowl year. He is throwing the ball to an area where if you're on him, defending him, you can't, if you're a cornerback and you're defending a guy in the end zone, Aaron Rodgers, he'll put it somewhere where only the receiver can get it. And it's just, it's amazing what he's doing right now.
Well, it looks like he's having fun playing. That's the thing about it.
He never does interviews, and he did one afterwards last night. And
he's flexing, and he's doing all kinds of stuff.
It looks like he's having fun. I was like, whoa.
Fun.
I guess that thing with Danica has got him good, I guess.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's like so happy to be single.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, speaking of the worst teams, we got the best team, Johnny. We got the best teams, 4-0.
Giants lost, Johnny.
Yeah, that's one of the 0-4 teams, like we mentioned. The NFC East is absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible, guys.
Yep.
But like I said,
we've said that already.
we look to the best
we
teams.
said that
The
already.
Cowboys lost.
Yeah.
Bills, Chiefs, Steelers, Packers, and Seahawks are all 4-0. Who do we think is the best team here?
First of all, I want to pat myself on the back about the Steelers. I told you that at the beginning of the year that they were going to be a good team.
Ben was going to be back, and it was going to be great.
And they had a decent team last year. I mean, their defense is incredible, and
they were supposed to play this week and they didn't play. So
Yeah.
they're 3-0. They're not 4-0. They're supposed to play Tennessee. Remember?
I think that, I mean, we can go ahead and say
Yes.
they beat the
Yes.
Titans.
Yes, can
Correct.
we just say that they beat the Titans?
No, we can't because they didn't. So, but yes, I mean, still they're undefeated. They're 3-0. So, I mean, Steelers are tough. They got Mike Tomlin as their head coach.
The Bills have had
Thank you for
the Bills have
correcting me on
had. If you want to just do strength of schedule, the Bills are. I mean, they've had an easy road, boy. Like they've. So I wouldn't take it. The Bills, Chiefs are. Look, they posted the question last night. Is it Chiefs Packers Super Bowl?
Ooh.
Well, I tell you what.
That's on our Facebook too.
I knew the Bills would be talented. I didn't expect what I'm seeing from them though. The Bills are impressive. Josh Allen, that dude is tossing the ball everywhere.
See, I think it varies between Chiefs Packers or Chiefs Seahawks. If the Seahawks continue keep doing what they're doing.
This is the healthy Seahawks. They're not really – well, Chris Carson got hurt this week. So we got to see what happened with him. But the Seahawks out of that group, the Chiefs are healthy, Steelers are healthy, and Seahawks are – and the Packers are still not even at full strength.
Right.
When they get going,
Yeah.
you might have a problem with the Packers. Like, they might be throwing at 50s. Like, they look like the Chiefs. They really do, man.
Yeah.
Like, that dude, that running back, Aaron Jones – wow, that
Fantasy.
kid is unreal. Like
He's making my fantasy
I thought
team.
at the beginning of the year, because last year he broke the touchdown record but he was running 1 and 2 yard, 1 and 2 yard rushes into the end zone. That Aaron Jones looks amazing. Like he looks like Alvin Kamara.
Yes. They're using him the right way. They're
Yeah,
using
exactly.
him running, passing.
And for all the turmoil that Aaron Rodgers and what's his name, the head coach.
For the Packers
for
right
the
now,
Packers,
LaFleur.
Remember all the controversy? Are they going to get along?
Yeah.
Is Aaron
That first
Rodgers-
season, it was rocky.
Then they drafted the kid.
Love.
Love
Jordan Love.
They drafted Jordan Love, and Aaron Rodgers was getting all kinds
He
of,
was unhappy,
it was
yeah.
unhappy about that. For all that controversy, man,
Yeah.
they look good.
They do. The only thing about the Seahawks is the Seahawks defense is surprisingly, as far as yards given up, worse than the Cowboys. So the Seahawks are going to be tough where the defense are going to keep playing like that. But
think
they
they
got
have a
Russell
few
Wilson to
guys out,
save
too.
them.
Hey,
Well, they
Earl
do.
Thomas is available.
Well, for whatever reason, that dude does not want to get. Nobody wants to pick that cat up.
They kicked him out of
Speaking of
they
these best
kicked him out of
teams,
Seattle.
Garrett just made a good point on Facebook. If you haven't followed us yet, go follow us, drop a comment, drop a like. He said a lot of Josh Allen haters have gotten real quiet, and that is so true. He's really proving himself, but like you said, this season
Yeah.
and
Yeah, he's played some
who
pretty
they've
easy
played,
teams.
Well-
it's pretty simple, but it's a good point to make.
Well, and it was funny. One of those people that was speaking about Josh Allen as far as garbage was Jalen Ramsey.
Yep.
And he got torched by Josh Allen when they played the Rams recently. And it was funny. Somebody asked him about it, and he was just like, yeah, he's a pretty good quarterback. He was talking in 2018, I think it was, how he can't believe he was drafted as high as he was. He was garbage, all this stuff. He didn't have that to say after that.
Jalen Ramsey, I mean.
Jalen Ramsey's paid though, so
He gets paid.
He's
got
good-
a bit
he's
of
good.
He's got
He's
a
good to
little
go.
chip on his shoulder. I'll say that. I'll say
Yeah.
that. But I think it is time to go back in time
Are we going?
what was it?
with
My turn.
Grant.
Is it my turn?
Oh, we going back in time already?
We're going back
Is it?
in
Man,
time.
dude, we got only 14 minutes. Woo! Listen, we're up here at Chris's Tailgate. Tomorrow they had the Astros game on at 3 o'clock. We'll probably be back up here having some drinks. You guys want to come up here? We'll definitely be here on Friday at 7 o'clock live for you guys. And, man, you ready for some history?
Let's do
I'm just
it.
sitting here watching the NHL draft.
Is it
NHL
really?
is drafting, if anybody cares.
All right,
So,
let's go.
That is the
Let's go.
second time.
Oh,
that
she don't
you-
wanna hear this. She's
the
like, let's
second
go.
time
We
you
gotta-
brought
we
something
gotta
up on
get
the
going.
show
Come
where
on.
we're like, what?
Texas AV Productions is a part of this segment. They are responsible for this. Texas AV Productions is your event partner for all things live production, setup, designing, installation, corporate events, concerts, and touring support. If you mention Sports with Balls, you receive a free consultation plus 10% off your total bill. Call Tosin and those guys at 281-241-7520 and check them out online at txavpro.com. Tosin will take care of you, man. Tosin's a good guy.
Tosin.
So today's October 6th, correct?
Correct?
Yes, October 6th, 2020. So we're going to go back in history a little bit.
Let's do it.
Right.
October 6th, 1945. Did you know today was the day of the tavern owner, Billy Goat Cianis, buys a seat for his goat
Oh, yeah, Chicago.
for Game 4 of Baseball World Series, and he's escorted out,
Yep.
and he cast the goat curse on the Chicago
Curse of the
Cubs.
Goat. Yeah. Man,
So
that's
today's the anniversary of
Listen,
that.
listen.
so
Before
funny.
Chicago won, the Cubs won that World Series. That curse was real. People
Oh, it was
believed
most definitely,
in it.
yes.
Like, I mean,
Baseball's the most
superstitious
superstitious
sport.
Yeah.
sport in general.
This guy today, or Austin, you know Austin that's always
Yeah.
on Facebook
Yeah,
commenting.
yeah,
yeah.
I posted a different flag today on my personal Facebook for the Astros, right? And he was
Yeah.
like, "You know better than that, man. Post the one you did yesterday." And I was like, "Nah, man, look, they're good. Don't
Yeah.
even worry about what flag I post."
Yeah. You imagine buying a seat for a goat? Like, I don't know.
Oh,
That's
I used to
interesting.
not think that it'd be dogs on planes,
Yeah.
but guess what we're doing now?
Yeah.
That's true.
October 6, 2010. Did you know that Phillies ace, the great Roy Halladay, pitches only the second no-hitter in MLB postseason history in Game 1 of the NLDS in a 4-0 win against the Cincinnati Reds?
What an incredibly sad story, man.
Late great.
Like, what an
Yeah.
incredibly sad story.
October 6, 1985. Did you know that Yankee Phil Niekro became the 18th pitcher to win 300 games and also at 46 became the oldest to pitch a shutout, beating Toronto 8-0.
Good for Phil Niekro. He's good.
Yeah, 46. You
Yep.
go, bro.
And then today is a huge anniversary.
It's got to be something Cowboys or
No,
Rangers.
it's not.
No.
October 6th, 1993. After 9 seasons and 3 championships with the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan announced his retirement from the NBA.
Damn.
Sad day.
That was terrible, man.
It was
Like,
shocking.
so
When I
bad.
saw that, I was
expecting this to be
shocked.
something so
I'm like-
positive and great.
No, that's terrible.
My
That's bad.
Hey,
The
but he
greatest.
came back
Michael
in
Jordan.
March 18th, 1995, and he led the Bulls to another 3 NBA titles. At least he was able to leave long enough to let the Rockets win 2 championships. So.
Exactly.
And it was White
No.
Sox farm team.
That's one of those, we're going to have a segment about that soon, would the Rockets have won those 2 championships without
Without Michael.
with Jordan in the league, were we good enough? I think one of those teams would have definitely pushed it to 7. I mean, Michael was just so dominant, man.
This is his ultimate prime. Like, if there's a prime, like, that was the ultimate.
That was it, and that's the problem I have is, like, he was so good right then. And, as great as Akeem Olajuwon was defending,
Yeah.
and look, Mad Max was just a nut,
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish they would play.
Oh, I know. It's sad they didn't.
I
That would
wish
have
they
been, that
would've
would
You
have been
know
awful.
what? You
to-
can't repeat history.
No,
And
no,
right
no.
here in Houston, Texas, they won. Boom.
Yeah, I love those 2 championships.
I
They're all
love
over.
it.
They're all over the tables here and everything, man. I love Akeem and I love Clyde, all that.
Tony Dungy's birthday is today, just for a birthday. One of my favorite baseball cards ever, Dennis Ray Oil Can Boyd. His
Yep.
birthday today.
Oil Can.
Oil Can Boyd. Former Ranger who gave up a Rangers possible World Series win, Darren Oliver. Today's his birthday. Josh Hamilton had hit the home run in the 10th inning. Darren Oliver came out in the bottom of the 10th, and they ended up winning the game. So thank you, Darren Oliver.
Of course.
The
Yeah.
Rangers,
Of course.
the Rangers blow in the World Series has been brought up a lot on the show.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like it hurt. Man.
One strike
It hurt.
left.
And then Ruben Sierra, former Ranger and Yankee great. Ruben Sierra, his birthday's today.
Ruben Sierra was awesome.
Ruben Sierra was fantastic.
He was a great
that
player.
swing, when he had it
He
over
held
his
it
head
all the
like
way
that.
up.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, he was
anyway,
a good player.
that's it.
Well-
you're welcome.
Thank you so much for
And
that,
thank
Grant,
you,
taking us back in
Tosin.
history.
Yeah,
Thank you, Tosin.
I only
And
say that
now-
because I remembered his name. I'm
Good job.
excited to say
Very
I'm proud
Tosin.
of you.
No, you're doing good. That's a very you pronounce it correctly.
Doing good today.
Well, guess what's coming up in here in a few minutes?
Lakers Heat.
Lakers and the Heat, which we know the Lakers are taking it 2-1. But I mean, is this a chance? This is an opportunity.
they
Can
got-
Miami come back?
They got what's his name? Their center. I can't pronounce his name.
Bam. I just call
Just say
him
Bam. Okay.
Yeah.
Bam.
Bam's going to be back and playing today. Listen, Jimmy showed incredible heart this past game. I mean, he was phenomenal. Can he repeat that process? The whole thing about that game was LeBron walking off with 10 seconds left, right? That was the whole internet explosion. 10 seconds left on the clock, LeBron just leaves the floor. And that pissed a lot of people off, right?
Yeah.
Is LeBron going to allow any of that to happen this time? I don't know. He's not the MVP of this series. Anthony Davis is the MVP of this series.
He put up 34 points the other night, I believe.
Question though, Anthony Davis played so bad in the last game. I think that may have hurt his chance for a Finals MVP. He was Finals MVP up to that point, but the way he played that last game, he did not play well.
Well, this is what I'm saying, and they lost. So if he scores 40 today and they win, well, he's won every game that they've won. He's been the MVP of that day.
Yeah.
So he will be the MVP of the series for sure.
Well, I definitely think the Miami Heat woke the Lakers up. I think that game 3, I think the Lakers were kind of like in themselves, and they were like, okay, we're up 2-0, like let's go ahead. I'm wondering what I'm going to do when I get back home, like not really thinking about the game. And the Heat came out, and Jimmy Butler played probably one of the best finals performances in the history of the NBA Finals. I mean, that dude went off.
He looked like Michael Jordan. Speaking of MJ, he looked like Michael Jordan on the flu game when he was on the sitting down on the bench. He was like, I mean, he was worn out.
Which we found out was not the flu, and it was food poisoning from that pizza because they wanted him to perform terribly.
Yeah, I mean, but you're not going to call it the pizza game, right?
Yeah.
The flu game just sounds
We just
better.
found out what it was in the Last Dance.
I think they said there's a Last Dance 2 coming out.
Oh,
How are they going to repeat that?
How?
That was a long series.
I know that was a. But listen,
Well, I think they may do it. They
there's
probably
so
may
many
do it for
other
somebody
things
else.
though that you know that they had to cut out because of time.
that took up an hour of a lot of millions of people time every Sunday.
I think it won an Emmy.
Well, and then if you binged it after it came out on Netflix.
It was.
Like,
I mean, that show was awesome. I loved watching it because it just brought back
I'm so
memories.
glad you bring that up because I think I'm going to go back and rewatch it. I loved it so much.
It was good. There's a bunch of them, man. I tell everybody the story about Lance Armstrong is one of the best ones I've ever seen.
I agree
man.
with you there.
Watch that thing on ESPN.
Yes.
Whoa,
Watch the Lance Armstrong
that
one.
thing's absolutely insane.
Hey guys, right now in the ALDS, it's game 2 of the Yankees and Tampa Bay. They're tied at 1, and it's the bottom of the second. So
Come on, Tampa Bay. Because listen, I want to play
Well,
the
yeah,
Yankees.
to
wanna
win or
extend it.
lose, you'd much rather play the Rays.
Yeah, but I just want an extended.
But I'm saying your choice.
No,
I know you'd want to play the Yankees because that'd be good to, but you'd rather play the Rays though.
I don't know. I think validation-wise, I want to play the Yankees. And look, I told you before, like go.
the Rays are good.
I
That's
think
scary, too.
validation-wise, we just get back to the ALCS. Whatever happens after that is awesome. And listen, the one thing that I would hate to happen is the Astros win their second World Series, right? And both of them are going to have this little tarnish on them. One being that they cheated, the second one being that it was a shortened pandemic season with no fans and blah. Like, I don't want 2 asterisks.
Anybody that's going to win
So-
a championship, whether it be they're going to have that. I mean, hey, it was your shortened season.
But then
it
again,
was a
whenever
COVID
it's like
season.
5 years from now, when you look back, you're not going to say, "Oh,
Yeah,
that
I mean,
was what happened."
ultimately,
You know what I mean?
ultimately, as an Astros fan, I can say, hey, like if we win this year,
Yeah,
you'd
it's
be
a
like,
championship.
I won the 2020
Yes,
championship.
absolutely.
So,
It's gonna happen.
you know, it's fine. But like, I don't know. Yeah, as long as they extend the series. Tampa Bay, listen, there's 2 different theories here. The Yankees-Astros, great matchup. Be 2 powerhouses going back at it. There's so much history there. The Altuve walk-off, I was at that game in 2019. It was the most unbelievable game I've ever been to in my life. And there's just a lot of history between Astros and Yankees. They hate each other. Look, handle with the Yankees they were going to release still hasn't come out. Where's that letter?
They settled something about it. They said that they weren't going to.
Of course they did.
I know,
But
it's
then
the
again,
Yankees.
if it's Tampa Bay, do you want Tampa Bay coming in there just beating the Yankees and like sort of like a Cinderella story, because those can be dangerous too.
They can. And Tampa Bay's.
I told you
they
Tampa
have
Bay
one of
can
the
be
top
dangerous.
pitching staffs in the major leagues this year.
And if I'm correct, both these isn't everything being moved to the Ranger Stadium after this?
I know
Right.
that, yes.
Globe Life Park.
Yeah, so everything
Right.
the AL and NLCS will be there, and the World Series.
Speaking of the NLCS
They have
right now, and
tickets available.
the NLDS right
I know.
now, it's so weird having those teams play at MNP.
Yeah. I know it is strange, but Atlanta loves the Juice Box. Atlanta is something like 8-0 there. Like they're
What?
phenomenal. They love playing there.
I feel like you're about to say something else.
No,
Something
I wasn't.
happened.
Yeah, I didn't know where you were going, dude. I'm
No,
sure
Atlanta-
somebody's watching this. So like, Grant looks like he's lost because I don't know what you were doing.
I was like,
Atlanta.
I was
just waiting in
trying to follow.
anticipation.
No, the Braves are like 8-0 in Minute Maid. Like I call it the Juice Box. Like
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. It was just I thought you were going somewhere different with it. Anyway,
Razor now
so
at
yeah.
it is
31.
weird for us. It is weird for us, the Astros, to be playing in LA. But Springer loves it and Bregman
Yeah.
loves it, so I'm good with it.
Yep, Rays just went up 3-1. Sorry about that, buddy. I know you wanted to.
No, I don't
Rays
care.
to win.
I just want the series to be extended. In fact, I want the Rays to win this game for sure because I want it 1-1. I want us to be the only team that's blowing everybody out of water.
All right,
But
well,
that's
we'll
just me
see
being-
what happens.
That's me
on
being stingy.
The Thursday night football, of course, is coming up just in 2 more sleeps. So we got the Bugs versus the Bears. They're both.
You say 2 more sleeps?
Sleeps,
That's
yeah.
right. Two more
I know.
sleeps.
I kinda like that.
First time I've ever heard that.
Really?
All right.
Yeah, I've
Really?
never heard
All
that.
right.
Threw one in there.
I'm bringing it up to y'all then. All right, so their records are 3-1, both of them. Who are we taking? Thursday night football.
Bears. The Bears.
You're taking the Bears?
Yeah, I don't even know the spread, and I'm taking Bears.
Oh
right.
wow! So are you
I-
talking straight up?
I
yeah.
think it's probably gonna be Bucks -4, Bucks -6, somewhere in there.
Well, actually, it's gonna be in Chicago. You got Bucks -4.5.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna take Bears +4.5 for sure.
Well, the problem with Buccaneers right now is I was reading today their first 4 receivers, 1 through 4, did not practice today.
Yeah, no, I told they're hurt.
So they're hurting in the wide receiver category. Godwin's not going to play. Fournette's not going to play. Miller, he's questionable with the hip. Mike Evans has his problems. So, I mean,
We'll see.
if that's the
There's
case,
a-
you're going to see what happens. I mean, right now, I'd probably have to go Bears with the points at home,
Oh.
+4.5.
I'm going against y'all, and I'm going Bucks.
Of course you are.
Why do you say that?
I was just going against us. Like, you've been throwing shade at my boy Grant over there. You hammered me last week. That's all right.
I hammered you last week?
Yeah, you called me dad bod.
It was very,
take that
very
as you
roundabout
please.
way. It was
You
very,
take
very
that as you
roundabout way, but it
please.
was funny.
Hey, Thursday night, y'all can watch the game up here at we're over at Christian's Tailgate on Kirby. Come see your boy Dustin. Say Sports with Balls. Probably hook you up with a nice little discount on your tab. We're gonna be here, and we'll probably be here Thursday or Friday. We haven't figured that out yet, depending on what happens with the schedule. But we're gonna be here again. So we're up here at Christian's Tailgate. I do want to say thank you to Joe Applewhite and Joe Applewhite Realty. Call him if you're looking for a move. 713-291-5270.
That's right. That's right. We love being up here at Christian's Tailgate. We also got to say thank you to Roy Stanton and Hybrid Technologies Group. Give them a call on any of your cable services, your phone, surveillance cameras, anything like that. Say Sports with Balls, SWB. You'll get hooked up as well.
And, of course, Construction Concepts.
Yeah.
Mark and Josh. Mark's always on point as far as commenting. Call them at 713-589-2682 if you want to build something badass. And last but not least, of course, is Tosin. Tosin, we want to thank him, too. 281-241-7520 if you want to throw a really badass party.
Please put that on your head right now. That's right. Game 2.
Can't
Game
mess up that hair.
Game three
Now,
tomorrow.
Game 3 tomorrow. Jose
3
Arquidi
o'clock.
is on the mound.
Yep. We'll be up here at Chris's Tailgate. So y'all come up here, 3
be
o'clock
up.
tomorrow. Appreciate y'all watching Sports with Balls. For Jeff Michael, Lauren Leal, and Graham
Point at the
Miles.
camera.
And Johnny J.
Oh, yeah.
at the camera.
We out.
Yeah.
We out.
Cup full of oil and an orange kush sweet. Cause this is how we do it in that 713. My candy red paint cocked up on foe. Shocking and body rocking cause the south side ho. DJ Screw got me falling asleep. This is how we do it in that 713.
Welcome to Sports with Balls. Here are your